All right, this is the last video for section 3.1. Talking about solving systems of equations. We just talked about graphing as a method. The way graphing is okay, but substitution is going to give us an exact answer. It's going to be using algebra to find the exact values. So, the idea of a system of equations. You have two equations, two variables. If you just had a single equation with two variables, ignore that one for a minute. There's no way to solve this. You would have to know what x is, or you would have to know what y is. Okay, so really, you can't solve it if you don't know either x or y. And so the idea is we need to have something else. So we have two equations with two variables. In order to solve for an equation, you need to get it to a point where you have a single equation and a single variable. That's what you need. And so substitution is going to get us to that. So take a second, copy down these steps here, and then we'll do this example. All right, the first step says solve one equation for a variable. It doesn't say which, it just says a variable. So which variable? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter which equation. Pick the one that's going to be easiest to solve for. To me, that's looking like the first equation, because we have a positive 1y. So I'm going to solve that first equation for y. All I got to do is subtract 7x from both sides. Okay, that's the first step. Then it says plug that into the other equation. So it says y equals. So in the second equation, I'm going to take that y out and replace it with what it's equal to. Kind of like a composite function. All right, now if you look at what we have this single equation with only one variable in it. We can solve for that variable x, and that's step 3. We just got to combine some terms here. So we got 5x. This becomes a minus 6 and a plus 7x equal to negative 3. That gives us a 12x equal 2. If I add 6 to both sides, that's going to give me 3. And divide by 12, 3/12, which is 1/4 by canceling out common factors. Okay, there's part of our answer. X is 1/4. So we solve for that remaining variable. Now the last step is to solve for the other, there should be a the in there, solve for the other variable using the equation in step 1. We know what x is. Remember, the solution is a point. It's an x comma y. Okay, we got x, now we're looking for y. So go back to that first equation. It already says y equals. Plug in our x value. So 6 minus 7 times 1/4. And so we got 6 minus 7/4, which is 24/4 minus 7/4. I love fractions. Oh, 24 minus 7. That's what, 17/4. There's our y value. Now, our answer is a set of points that satisfy both equations, meaning it's a coordinate. So list it as such. Our solution is x comma y. That's our answer. Okay, this is the idea of substitution. Solve one equation for one variable, plug that into the other equation, solve for the remaining variable, and then you can figure out the figure out the last variable. Okay, we're going to do this example in class. Please take a second to copy down and try it at home. Those of you in chemistry, this should be a breeze. And we're going to do this one in class also, just as something to kind of a warm-up. Okay, this one, there's a third variable. I'm just going to give you a hint. Solve for z first, and then plug it in to this equation and to this one, and then you're dealing with a normal system. Okay, that is it. Have a good night. I'll see you in class tomorrow.